Howdy folks, hope you're doing great. In this video, I want to talk about how pathetic and weak people are becoming in this day and age. Utterly pathetic and weak. You know, I got like a 5-day restriction on Facebook. Okay, so I can still post and shit, so it's not really much, but I can't, it's pretty ridiculous. I just can't post in groups, and I can't make phone calls or answer phone calls for some reason, that doesn't even make sense. It's like they just want to be like, we're gonna bully you and punish you like like you're our child, and we're grounding you, so you're not allowed to have phone calls, you're not allowed to talk to your friends, you're grounded, alright? And the irony of this is that I was literally given restrictions on Facebook for saying like words like faggot and trash. I said trash, somebody's trash, you're trash, bro. And I said to someone else, stop being a faggot. And then that gets restricted on Facebook. That's how weak people are. That's how much the world has become faggots. Piece of shit weak faggots. It's pathetic that you can just say the word faggot on Facebook and you get restricted and censored. Like, these people are scared of fucking words. Literal fucking words. Like faggot. You're not allowed to say it online. What the hell? And they take it as it's like, oh, because you're discriminating against a protected class of minorities, the homosexuals. It's like, bruh, no normal person calls somebody a faggot as some type of like insult against homosexuals. That's not what the insult faggot means. Faggot means, you call a woman a faggot, it just means they're a bitch. It means they're weak. Like, faggot is just an insult that means someone's a loser. It's just literally the same as calling someone a loser. It's got nothing to do with sexuality. It's not a fucking homosexual slur to call someone a faggot. It's literally the same as calling them a loser. But people want to construe it in a way where they're like, oh, you're not allowed to use words that I don't like. And I'm going to imply a meaning to the word that the word doesn't even actually have in common use. Alright? Everybody knows, everybody that uses normal English, and anyone that's ever called someone a faggot, they weren't referring to their sexuality. Alright? So it's not even a word that refers to a person's homosexuality. Faggot is literally just a general insult. So apparently you're not even allowed to insult people anymore. Not allowed to use harsh words to describe people's behaviour correctly, because these people don't like their behaviour being exposed. Another thing that's bloody ironic that I said, so what I said faggot, I called someone trash, what else? I think I called someone else a bitch, and the worst part, like, fair enough, if people want to be weak faggot bitches, then they're going to cry when you call them a faggot or a bitch, because they're weak faggot bitches. So they just prove you right when they get upset. So it's like, if you call someone a bitch and they get upset, that's because they're literally a bitch by definition. So it's just a scientific observation to call someone a bitch or a faggot or a loser. Because if they respond with any type of, like, if they care that they've been called that, that's scientific evidence that they are that thing. Like, if someone calls you a bitch and you care, that scientifically proves that you're a bitch. If someone calls you a faggot and you care and upsets you, that's scientific evidence, a scientific observation that you are a faggot. You can't handle just words. You get upset at words. That's weakness. That's faggotry. Right? So it's just a scientific observation, but you're not even allowed to do it anymore. You get restricted online, you get censored, you get in trouble, people have tantrums, get upset because you used a word they don't like, a word that hurt their feelings. Even though you're just using the word in a scientific way to describe something and make it like a scientific observation of something, they get upset because they don't like the word. It's actually ridiculous. So, but the other thing, like, fair enough, people get upset at words, and it's stupid as shit. I don't know, like when I was growing up, my mum taught me, sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you. But now everyone's like, wants to cry about being called faggots and bitches and sluts and stuff. It's like, oh no, you used a word. Oh, a word hurt me. It's like, bruh, did your mum not teach you? Sticks and stones break bones, but words do not hurt. Words are just fucking words, bro. It's like water off a duck's back. So, again, it's just a scientific observation to call someone a faggot or a bitch, and if they get upset that you've used those words, they are scientifically proven to be a faggot or a bitch, because they don't like the words faggot or bitch. Words upset them, so they are scientifically proven to be faggots and bitches. So it's just a scientific observation and labelling, like an empirical scientific description of phenomena in existence, to call someone a faggot or a bitch because they don't like harsh words that hurt their feelings. Because yeah, like you're supposed to teach your fucking children when they're literal toddlers that sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will not hurt me. Alright, so if words hurt you, you're weaker than a fucking baby, cunt. Alright? That's fucking pathetic. Grow the fuck up. But the other thing that was probably the worst, it's like, yeah, fair enough, I can understand, because I know there are people who are bitches and faggots, and they want to cry about words hurting their feelings. I know that exists, that's real, and it makes sense because they are scientifically bitches and faggots. Alright, so I know why they're upset. They don't like harsh words hurting their feelings because they're bitches and faggots. Fair enough. But then, the other thing that I got restricted for was a comment where I literally just commented saying, because someone was being anti-white, they're being anti-Australian, anti-white, making racial discriminations, being a bigot and everything, and I'm just like, bro, you can't be a bigot, cunt. Stop being a fucking bigot scum. Stop discriminating against people, alright? Have some fucking respect. Stop being anti-white and anti-Australian. And I was like, you do realise Australia is a white country, mate. And then that comment got taken down by Facebook, and I got restricted for just commenting politely saying Australia is a white country, mate. Like just stating a fucking basic fact of reality that Australia is a white nation. Like obviously everyone knows that. It's like it wasn't built by the Chinese, wasn't built by fucking Indians. It was built by the British Empire. So it's a white nation. Like, it's just common fucking sense. But for some reason I got restricted off of Facebook for saying that. That's how anti-white shit's getting. How anti-Australian, anti-white people are getting. I was literally discriminated. So all these restrictions fundamentally come down to me being white. So I'm being discriminated on the basis of my race for being a white man, and being restricted for just using plain English, which is my white language. So I'm using words like faggot, bitch, slut, which are just English words from my English dictionary in my white English language. And I'm being discriminated against for using my own people's language, my own people's words, using my own culture on the basis of my race, and then being restricted by massive global corporate companies like Facebook and censored, discriminated and persecuted for simply being born of a certain race. You know, so racial discrimination needs a fucking stop in all forms, including anti-white racial discrimination against white people. All forms of discrimination needs to end. Everybody should be loved and respected, no matter their racial background, no matter any immutable characteristic a person has that they did not choose for themselves, cannot rightly be used to discriminate against that individual. Right? So people need to stop discrimination, stop being bigots, and that includes stop being anti-white and anti-Australian, because that's racial discrimination against whites, just as bad against anyone else. Cheers, folks. Christ is King.